Hey everybody, welcome to Mortuary Files. My name is Rick, and I was a funeral director, embalmer, and crematory operator for over 35 years. And we're going to answer some of your questions today. This is my big brother Randy right over here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mortuary Files. My name is Randy, and I am his pain in the ass big brother. Been following him around wherever he goes. I go and I leave, and then I
Yeah,
come
you
back
do.
home. All right, you ready for some questions today?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, so here's the first question. As a funeral director, what
Mhm.
do you do on a daily basis other than prepare the body? Well, I guess maybe even prepare the body. Why don't you give a rundown of what a funeral director might do on a daily basis? Because it's just not putting a body into a coffin.
Well, there's an awful lot of paperwork that goes into having a funeral that, of course, the family has assigned some of it. But besides that, there's a file that thick with everything from Social Security forms to um, the funeral details to the order forms to there's a lot of paperwork involved. And it doesn't all get done in time for the funeral. A lot of that is pushed off because the funeral takes precedence. So if all the paperwork isn't done, you finish that. Um, and if you have an office that's dirty, a lot of times it's up to us to clean it. You don't want people poking around your desk. You clean your own area that you work. If you're an embalmer, the embalming room is constantly being cleaned all the time. If if your hearses are dirty, we don't have staff to go and take the hearses to a car wash, so we all jump in one, or one guy jumps in one and comes back, gets another one, and sometimes I've been to the car wash 4 or 5 times in one day.
The
Mhm.
hearse has got to be clean.
The hearse, the removal van, the van for the flowers, the lead car. There, we had several different locations that were all sister funeral homes. We had like I don't know, 7 or 8 different vehicles.
Okay.
So there's a lot of just maintenance, daily maintenance. No, we had
Now,
a crew that came in and cleaned, vacuumed and dusted, and that we didn't normally get involved in that, but um, yeah, all the other stuff we help.
what about outside the funeral home?
Well, if there's people that are smoking cigarettes and are throwing their cigarette butts on the ground, we have to go out and sweep those up, that sort of thing. We were attached to a cemetery right next door to a cemetery that we owned also, and we didn't have to, but I didn't want to just sit around the funeral home. So I'd go out and pick up flowers, and especially the plastic ones, and they'll up against the wall or a fence or something. And you go up and pick those up and throw those away. That just kind of maintenance of the cemetery.
If I was to walk into your funeral home, there's, what do you call it? A casket room
Yeah, selection room. Yeah,
in the basement, in the back, or wherever it might be.
it's in the back. Yeah,
I see a casket that I like. I want to get. Do I get that casket?
yeah. Usually
Okay.
that's the one. Yeah, because otherwise it would just sit there and age. And it's usually only been there for a few days or a week. And so we just use that one, order a new one to replace it.
You don't have stock, you don't have a garage or a warehouse
Yeah, but
someplace?
not for every casket. You do for there are certain caskets that are the most popular ones, and those are usually the lower price caskets. And we usually keep 2 or 3 of those in stock. But we wouldn't have room to store hundreds of them or anything.
Would they be on property or would you have like a storage unit someplace?
It'll be on property in a
Okay.
garage.
And so a part of your duty would be then if casket A is taken and you've got a spare one sitting in the warehouse, you go to the warehouse and get the one in the warehouse.
Yep. You dust it, fluff the pillow, put the interior where it needs to be, and put the price tag on, and
Make it look
you know,
pretty.
yep. Same thing with when the mail comes in, a lot of times the urns are shipped to the funeral home, take those out and dust them off and put them where they need to be and make sure that they're properly priced.
People freak out when they go into a room with 20, 25 caskets in there.
Yeah, most people have never been into a room like that.
I've
So a lot
never
of
been in
times
one.
people just stop and they kind of take a breath and they, okay, they know they have to do it. And because I can't just pick it for them, I could show them in a book. If they don't want to go, I have all these caskets in a picture book. And sometimes people just do that. Computer now too, a big computer
Yeah.
screen. So it's getting real technical now.
What if they want a casket you don't have?
Well, they wouldn't know it existed unless they had seen it in another funeral home.
I want one just like my wife was buried in, and I have the name, and it's a Roku 5287. And you can you get it for him?
Yeah, if you know the brand name and if they're still made, I can order that, sure.
And
If it's the
how
company we deal with. There are several companies that make caskets. There's one in particular, and they're the 800-pound gorilla in the business. And then there are others. But if it's a company we deal with, sure.
and you wouldn't go, but I mean, I know there's like three or four companies out there. You don't just go from you do mainly with one company.
Normally just one, yeah.
Okay. All right. And for whatever the reason, funeral homes use different casket companies.
That's right, they do.
And do the salesmen come in and talk to you?
They used to.
Used to.
Years ago, salesmen used to come by that was more when funeral homes were independent. But now a lot of those contracts are done at the corporate level, and there are no salesmen now. They work out the prices between the company and our corporate offices, and they say these are the caskets that are available to you at these prices, and salesmen don't come by anymore.
The
Not
corporate
not
would.
for corporate funeral homes. They might still go to independents.
So when you're getting low, you get on there and you order it.
Right.
Do you have like a standard name for the least expensive, most expensive, medium? Is there a
Yeah, they
name
all
in the
have they're
industry
all they
for it?
all have names. Yeah, different thicknesses of metal, different gauges, and so you say I need a 18 gauge, and they know
Okay.
exactly which one you're talking
All right.
about.
All right. So when you get caskets in and you get people in the back and they're looking at caskets and they're going back there and I don't know. Tell me, you because they're asking you for your
Hmm.
expertise in it, right? And you're
Hmm.
got to kind of put on your salesman hat a little bit. And I know you would give them whatever you thought they wanted.
I would do for them what I would want somebody to do for me, which is at that point I get extremely honest with them and say, look, depending on your budget, this is the price point here, this is the price point of this one, this is, $500 more than this one. And if money's a concern, these two caskets do exactly the same thing. They just have different bells and whistles. They have handles that come out as opposed to being stationary. They have shinier hardware on the corners. They have a little nicer interior. But other than that, they serve the same purpose. And if you want to save a little money, personally, I would choose this one, but it's up to you.
So you have people who just take you at your face value.
Yeah,
They
if they
have,
trust me, and I could point them in the right direction, but a lot of times I'll still choose this one.
and you have people who, regardless of what you say, they're dead set on it has to be the most expensive one.
Well, and if it's a woman, a lot of times they just go strictly by the color.
Well,
Mom liked green. She always liked green.
when we talked about Chris, his wasn't the color, it was that on the back of it said going home. They
Yeah.
wanted one that said
Well,
going home on it.
there's a casket that comes with that already in the
Yeah,
casket, but there's
yeah.
also an
Yeah.
insert. It's just a square piece of cardboard with a cloth over top of that that has going home in it, and you can just pop that right in. It's a pop-in um,
Okay.
wording that you can customize any casket you want.
And you have a whole lot of those or a few of
And they buy
those
it, they
or
purchase that, and so it stays with the person.
no, but what I mean is you have those in stock.
Yes, about 10 of them. Different
Okay.
had American flag, had United States Marine Corps, had the Army, had flowers, had mom, had
Okay.
whatever.
Okay. Now you get a family in there and do they kick the tires of it? Like a car, do they kick the tires? Do they check out the hinges? Do they check out the inside?
For some reason, and I don't know why it is, that's why I have to stand there because people want to just reach up and close the casket to see what it closes like.
And they'll come down on them, won't it?
No, the problem is it's got a lock on it to
Oh,
keep it
oh,
from coming down. If they don't know
oh,
that,
oh,
they bend
oh,
the
okay.
hinge. So no, no, let me do it. Let me because you have to release that trigger on that thing for that to come down. And I've probably had to repair about a half a dozen caskets that family just pulled the top down, not knowing that it has a safety hinge on it.
I remember looking at one casket and I always thought there was a mattress inside there.
There is, but it's
Wasn't,
real small.
isn't there like a support system underneath it? The mattress doesn't sit on the bottom.
It's no, it's up off the bottom. Yeah.
Isn't
And
like
there's some
a
springs.
spring
There's some
system?
springs in there.
Yeah.
And then there's
Okay.
small, those thin mattress. Yeah. And then a nice full pillow.
Okay. But it's not a big full mattress. It's
Yeah. It's
just a
just a
little
small,
thing.
thin. Yeah. not even the size of a topper. There's another thing that they used to make, and I haven't seen one in a while, but I think they still make it. And it's basically a minimum casket. It's either particle board or they even make some cardboard caskets that you would not know they're cardboard unless were touching it. And heavy duty cardboard, of course. And in the bottom underneath the fabric is straw. They used to put straw down in the bottom of these things, and they're not adjustable.
Are people surprised when they go in there and they see what is actually in the bottom of the?
They don't pay that much attention, to be
No,
honest.
nobody
Yeah.
comes in, pulls the blanket back.
It's designed to look comfortable and to be adjustable so that you can position people with your head up a little bit and up at eye level, sort of. And then before the casket is, or before the lid of the casket is closed, you lower them back down a little bit and then close it.
Anybody ever try to crawl in one?
Yeah.
Other than kids.
No, not in the showroom, but in a funeral, I've seen it happen.
With
Or,
somebody.
or on top of a casket. Have you ever seen anybody
Well,
try to?
I know of somebody, you know of somebody who crawled on top of the casket.
Yep, moms or
Mom,
Debbie's, one of the two. Up on top of the casket. That was our brother we're talking about.
no, well, mom jumped right. She didn't jump up on the casket, but she had her arms all over the casket, all over the one side, and on her tippy toes, just hugging and
Mm,
kissing the.
mm.
And I was kind of, Mom, 2 weeks ago you were talking about divorcing the old fart.
Yeah,
But Derry was absolutely inconsolable,
yeah.
after
At
mom died.
mom's, I
Yeah,
think it was at mom's, yeah.
yeah, he was absolutely. And then I
Well, he
took,
was a, what do they call it? A apron string baby? Isn't that what they call it? Where he's attached to mom's apron strings?
yeah, well,
He stood right there by her.
yeah, I call it umbilical cord. It stretches a little bit, but they get too far away, boom, right back. All right, anything else you want to say about caskets?
Um, that's probably the second biggest area besides the service charges, where you can save money. If you're looking to save money, look closely at caskets, and you don't have to purchase the one that they have at the funeral home. You can purchase one on your own through the internet, have it delivered, and a funeral home has to accept it, and they can't charge you to send it into them.
Yeah, and that's one thing too, talking about that. I could go, um, I think there was I'm going to say like Sears that before Sears went out of business, I think they were selling. There's a place you can go online and you can buy them. There was a store not far from here. They did the window. They opened up their window,
Yeah.
and they had caskets sitting in the window, and you could buy them. And
Mhm.
I believe you did that with mom, did you not? You ordered one for mom.
I did.
Yeah. So why did you order the one for mom?
Um,
Cost wise
well,
or what?
because yeah, I mean, I talked to our supplier, and at that time, I ordered one for Uncle Jim when he died too.
Yeah.
Um, and I tried to do the same thing for mom, and they wouldn't let me. They'd changed their policy. They would no longer sell it to a funeral home at the funeral home's price, but have it sent to a different funeral home because they knew it was for personal use.
Ah, okay.
And so I don't know what difference that makes to them, but they changed their policy. So I didn't buy a casket from them. I bought a casket from the internet and probably saved about $1,500 by doing it.
And how easy was it to buy one from the internet? Did you
Simple.
your funeral
But I knew
director?
what I wanted,
Yeah,
and
your
I'd gone online and looked at them, and I knew what quality of casket I wanted. She had a very nice casket.
I would be a little reserved me getting on the phone. Yeah, I guess on the internet it's kind of
Well, I never talked to anybody. I just ordered it
you
straight
just
on. Yep.
okay. Because I mean I know that the one here you would either go they'd have commercials, come on in and see our selection. I
I
don't know.
almost opened a store like that
Yeah,
because
I
that
don't
was a
know. I
big
want
thing here in
to.
Georgia too.
Was it?
But they all went out of business.
Yeah. Nobody wants
Nobody
to
wants
go
to
in
even
there.
talk about this subject, let alone go into a creepy casket store in a shopping center.
And that's why
It never became popular.
our subscribers don't have to go to a creepy store.
For caskets, I think that's enough for now. But that is a major point of, like I said, if you're looking to save money, I want to know how to save money. That is point number two on how to save money on a funeral.
All right. Well, Rick, I think that's going to end it for this episode of Mortuary Files.
Yep.
I want to thank everybody for joining us today. And don't forget, you can find us on Patreon. You can find us on Rumble. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify. And if you like what you are seeing here, what can they do, Rick?
Well, they can go to uh, Mortuary Files at you. No.
Let's try
They
it
can go to
again, Rick. Where
Mortuary,
can,
yeah,
how
they
do they
can go
get
to
in touch with
Mortuary
us?
Files at gmail.com and Mortuary Files at yahoo.com.
All right. And shit, no,
He's
I
the computer
forgot.
guy. He knows
I
I'm
forgot
not the
where to.
computer guy.
Oh
I
man,
can embalm a body, but he's the computer guru.
I can't embalm a computer, but all right. You can catch us wherever you want to catch us. We'll see you all next time on Mortuary Files.
Bam. Thanks a lot.
Don't you ever laugh as the hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die.